Hello, welcome to today's edition of Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Thank you very much, as we always do. If you are new to the channel, I want to say a very, very big thank you to you. If you are part of the old Fiifi-Manfred group, I want to say thank you very much to you as well. This is an exciting football tactical analysis channel where we discuss everything football. We give you the best of the updates here on the channel. There is a lot to actually talk about today, and that's exactly why we are here. It's a beautiful Sunday. There's a lot to do. Thank you very much. Like I always say, if you're not subscribed to the channel, I entreat you to subscribe to the channel. Turn on notification as it's important, and then make sure that after 10 notification, you do choose all in there. Turn on the notification and then do choose all. Turn on notification and do choose all. Subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much for choosing me on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. We are committed to giving you the best of updates on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube, so stick and stay with us. We have a lot to unpack for you. First of all, there's a conversation about Real Madrid, and then of course yesterday they got the maximum win away. There's Barcelona against Atletico de Madrid that are going to play today. Chelsea players and injuries and updates in the game against Leicester City. The updates in there also coming up for you. There's a lot to talk about in there about Ange Postecoglou, and then of course in there as Thomas Tuchel talks about the Champions League and everything that's going to come. So let's get started. First, in the Spanish La Liga. So yesterday was the first game, the first round of games in the game week that came out in the Spanish La Liga, where Real Madrid had a big test. Real Madrid knew that they had to go up and get a win. Of course, if you look at the Champions League and where they are, they have been drawn against Manchester City. And that's going to be a very, very difficult game for Madrid to play. If you look at the kind of quality that City do have, that's definitely going to be a difficult game for Madrid to play. But again, if you look at this Madrid team, if you look at the quality of the team that they have, they always can hold their own against any team at all in the world. And definitely, that's something that you can put away from Real Madrid. Now, there are two things. First of all, the Madrid management have reported the fans of Barcelona and then Atletico de Madrid to the Spanish commissioner that Vinicius Jr. has been racially abusing the last few games that they played against Barcelona and then Atletico de Madrid in there. Also, if you look at this game, it was a game that Madrid had to win to open up the gap up top. As you know, all of these teams are closing up on Real Madrid, especially looking at the likes of Girona, who have played just one game less, or the same number of games in there against versus Real Madrid. But now Madrid are 10 points away from Girona. But Barcelona wins today against Atletico de Madrid, and they come closer. They get just a point more than Girona, 2 points more than FC Girona. Now, if they get 2 points more than FC Girona, then it means that they are away from Real Madrid with 8-point difference between them. And then, of course, there's FC Athletic Bilbao, Atletico de Madrid also in that order in the Spanish La Liga. So it's a very, very important game for Real Madrid, especially since we're going away to Osasuna. And one of the first things I picked up was that it looks as if Lunin again was imposed and there was no Kepa Arrizabalaga. What that tells me, especially since the fact that Thibaut Courtois is returning to full training, it looks as if Kepa Arrizabalaga is not going to get a place in this Madrid team next season. It looks as if Kepa Arrizabalaga will have to return to Chelsea in there. And if you look at the quality of Kepa Arrizabalaga, but in the quality of Real Madrid, and I think that the issues of Kepa Arrizabalaga, even away from Chelsea, has been clear. He goes to Real Madrid, and then you can see that he's not that domineering goalkeeper that Carlo Ancelotti would want in his box, or somebody that is very, very big on cross-claiming and then the combativeness of a goalkeeper in his box and being domineering in the 18-yard box. Kepa really isn't that guy, and then he doesn't seem to have gotten the nod in there. Lunin seems to be imposed, and in this game against Osasuna, he was imposed as well. And of course, it looks as if Thibaut Courtois is returning to full-time to come and play full-time again. And once Thibaut Courtois comes, there looks as if there is no place for Kepa Arrizabalaga in that Real Madrid setup. So that's exactly what happened in that game against Osasuna in there. But Madrid went into this game in a much more different fashion, and I'm beginning to think that Madrid are trying a different formation just so they can see how they can variate against Pep Guardiola's Manchester City. In this game against Osasuna, Madrid went into a flat 4-3-3 with Toni Kroos, Camavinga, and Federico Valverde making the midfield trio. Of course, the defense was Antonio Rudiger, Orenchi Chiellini, Eduardo Camavinga, and then of course, not Eduardo Camavinga, Dani Carvajal, and then of course, Mendy. Then up top, there was Vinicius Junior on the left-hand side, Rodrigo Goes centrally, and then Ibrahim Diaz in there. Now, you realize that Ibrahim Diaz, his form seems to have picked up and he's playing some good football for FC Real Madrid in recent times. Now, the fact that he's getting that quality, he's showing his form, he's showing himself in games, he's being better and better and better with time, tells you that he's the kind of player that Real Madrid need at this point in time. And that's the reason why they're shifting a little bit into that flat 4-3-3. Also, in the absence of somebody like Jude Bellingham from the team, that means that Madrid can play in a 4-3-3 with that flat thing. Now, with Jude Bellingham, Madrid are playing in a 4-1-2-1-2, a 4-4-2 diamond, if you want to say it like that, where they conject central areas and then they don't have any natural width out right now. With Brahim Diaz and Vinicius Junior on both wings, now Madrid have extra width out right, and of course they can have the rotations with their fullbacks and wingers. Some of them can come inside and tack in whilst Rodrigo Goes keep the width. So that's exactly how Madrid went into it. And I think that if you are facing a Manchester City, you need a lot of variations in different parts of the game, and it's very excellent that Madrid are playing this way to find different forms, different ways to play against Manchester City going forward in the Champions League, because that's going to really, really be a very, very big game for Real Madrid and of course for Manchester City as well. Today, Atletico de Madrid are waiting to play against FC Barcelona in a very, very big game in there. Like I said, if Barcelona wins this game, they go just 8 points away from Real Madrid in the Spanish La Liga. It's also an important game because they need to start building momentum. They need to start playing against teams like Atletico de Madrid to build momentum in that lead up to that big game against Paris Saint-Germain. Mind you, the Paris Saint-Germain game is not going to be easy at all for FC Barcelona, especially looking at the quality of Barcelona, looking at the quality of Luis Enrique. And I did say earlier that Luis Enrique knows Barcelona. He's a Barca boy. He has coached there before. He's a Catalan. He understands the way of the Catalan people. He believes through and through in the Catalan way of doing things. Again, he has gone to Paris Saint-Germain at a time when Barca were doing that Ramatanda. He understood what Barca needed to do. So in terms of psyche, mentality, everything, he knows that he can turn things around for Paris Saint-Germain and beat Barca and take them to now. Barca haven't been so exciting. They haven't been perfect in recent times with injuries to Frankie de Jong, Pedri, Gavi, and the likes in there. But what I've seen with Barca in recent times is that Xavi is making very good use of third man runs. And when I say third man runs, is the midfield combinations for these La Masia boys, and he's using the likes of Fermin Lopez in there, using sometimes Rafinha to come and play in the middle of the park to combine and then arrive late at the edge of the box, and also Ike Gundogan, who has been the creator-in-chief for the Barcelona team. Now, he's trying to mimic the quality of Sergio Busquets, who is out of the team, and now has Christensen as the whole, as that register where everything goes through him, more like a better destroyer than Sergio Busquets, but also equally good on the ball, as he has done that several times from centre-back position. Now, the fact that he has now had Paul Kubasi at centre-back, who was excellent, and I said it the last time, that for me, for a centre-back of that nature, of that age, being very good and aggressive on and off the ball, very good in terms of duels, for me, it was excellent. The passing angles, everything was just top-notch for Paul Kubasi. Of course, with a return of Marc-André ter Stegen, meaning that the defense line of FC Barcelona is a little bit solid, a little bit compact in going into this game against FC Atletico de Madrid. My problem, however, is that the combination play up top, especially from the wide combination plays, and they coming inside, don't seem to be as sharp as it was last season. It doesn't seem to be as sharp. Maybe it's because the Rebel Lewandowski is dropping more into central areas to play more and combine with Joao Felix and the likes, and then create chances for himself. But even apart from that, also the quality of Robert Lewandowski seems to have gone down now. And of course, because he's not getting on the end of chances, missing quite a few as well. But Barca, all in all, are largely good team. And this is going to be vis-a-vis an Atletico de Madrid dominant, forceful, vociferous fans at the wonder. And then again, even apart from that as well, you look at the quality of the players in the Atletico de Madrid setup, the three back that they play, and the likes of Axel Witsel at the back, having central control in Coque and then Saul Niguez sometimes when it comes off the bench in there, also having Lorente Morena on the wings. And then for me, everything Atletico Madrid have done this season has been off the back of the quality play from their center forwards in Morata, Griezmann, and then of course Memphis Depay. For me, in my opinion, it looks as if Morata has found a new home in Atletico de Madrid. He's been more comfortable on the ball, more comfortable without the ball, and I think that El Cho has done a brilliant job on Alvaro Morata in there. So it's going to be a very difficult game But the wonder, in my opinion, I'm going to give Atletico de Madrid a double chance. I don't see Atletico losing this game in there as well. Yesterday, there were a host of games in the Italian Serie already. Lazio went away to Frosinone and got that all important win in there. It was a very, very important game. But today, there's a big one. Inter are staying at home to play against SSC Napoli. Inter playing against SSC Napoli. Now, there's a reason why this Inter game is very important. Now, Inter out of the Champions League. And if you look at Inter playing in the Champions League and winning it, and then mimicking what they did last season by going to the final against Manchester City, was very important coming into this game. Now, I think that it was just down to moments, certain moments where Inter should have taken their chances and they failing to take their chance was the reason why they weren't able to um, beat Atletico de Madrid over 2 legs. Over 2 legs, I think that Inter were the better side. They dominated large parts of the game, and you could tell from the game that they played. Largely in control from build-up central areas to the attack, creating of chances, the counter pressing, every other thing. Inter were just quality. So when it came down to what mattered most in terms of converting chances from the likes of Marco Arnautovic, you look at apart from Marco Arnautovic, you look at somebody like Marcus Thuram, who also missed a big chance. Look at Nicolo Barella, who also missed a big chance. Lautaro Martinez, all of these players that really should have just buried the game earlier on for International Milan. They were not able to do that. Now they're out. The focus, 100%, the bet eye view now turns to the Italian Serie A in the Scudetto. Mind you, last season, by this time, in fact, before the Champions League semi-final thereabout, Simeone was under a lot of fire because they were not performing well in the Italian Serie A. They were able to do it very well in the Champions League. Now, what they want to do this time is focus all of their attention on the Italian Serie A, do some quality job. It's about 15 points between themselves and Juventus, and they have a game against Napoli. I know that Napoli are also out. They also didn't play well against Barcelona. But Inter Milan is a solid team, is a better team, is a much more balanced team. And in my opinion, the game plan should be that let us just forget about everything happening in the Champions League. Focus on this game, kill it, and then let us just move on in everything that we are doing. Let's just move on and play some good football, win this game, and then win the Scudetto as quickly as possible. And then focus our season on next season because it's important. Yesterday, in the English FA Cup, 2 games went on. Manchester City beat Newcastle United. It was such a big game, very, very important game in there for Manchester City as they beat Newcastle United. Manchester City played at home at Etihad. They beat Newcastle by 2-0. I've said it several times that Eddie Howe's teams have a lot of issues in terms of injuries, and I think that's down to the physicality of most of the games that they've played. They've not been really sharp. They've exerted a lot of energy in recent times, and they don't seem to be able to match those physical levels again, and that's affecting their game. Man City did beat them 2-0 yesterday in the game, and 2 goals from Bernardo Silva. And there was another game between Wolves and then Coventry, where Coventry came and then won the game by 3-2. So Coventry are down to the semi-finals of the FA Cup, and then of course same for Manchester City. Chelsea are playing a big one today against Leicester City. Now, Chelsea know that this is the game that they have to win. Now, if you go to the Chelsea website and you look at injuries, 2 players have returned to team training now, Benoit Bellachile and then Ben Chilwell. Now, Ben Chilwell has been called for the English national team in there. Now, one of the things that you have to know is that Chelsea have lost just once in about 5 games at Stamford Bridge since October. Since October, Chelsea have hardly lost at Stamford Bridge. So it means that Stamford Bridge has somewhat become somewhat of a fortress for Chelsea where they tend to get results. And there have been some quality oppositions that have come to Stamford Bridge. Chelsea have played largely well. We are in March. The quality of play at Stamford Bridge is very, very good. And I'll tell you why that is a precursor for Chelsea winning. I think that last season, Stamford Bridge was much more volatile, much more toxic in terms of the fans. This time, I think this season, the fans have been a little bit calmer at Stamford Bridge and they've been able to urge the boys on. Still, Romeo Lavia, Reece James, Romeo Lavia, Reece James, Wesley Fofana. You need to forget some of these players that have been on the injury list for a very long time are all out of this game. Enzo Fernandez is also not going to be able to play this game against Leicester because he has been suspended for yellow cards accumulation. And in this game, Nathaniel Chalobah, Thiago Silva, Georgi Petrovic, Moise Caicedo, Any of them that gets another yellow card in this game is not going to play in the semi-final in there. So what that means is that these guys are just a card away for not playing the semi-final, and they need to be very, very careful in this game that they're going to play against Leicester City. Now, there is something Mauricio Pochettino has done, and I think that is one of the most exciting things that I've seen him do in recent times. You remember when Mauricio Pochettino joined Chelsea? What he did was that organize a barbecue between himself and then the staff. So of course, familiarize himself with the staff, get to know them and what. Now, Pochettino says that before the Carabao Cup final, where Chelsea played against Liverpool, his players could not sleep. They were all jittery. They were worried about the outcome of that, and they are still not coming to terms with playing with such a big club, playing for such a big club like Chelsea. And then they consistently felt, okay, this is going to be a tough thing for us to do. Now, ahead of this big game that's going to be against Leicester, Poch has organized a barbecue again, this time for his players, the staff, and then himself. And then the plan is to just get the players to calm down, get to know themselves, let them know that yes, it's a big club, but we are building a project on the right track. It's a step-by-step thing, and we are going to get it. And you don't need to put too much pressure on yourself, as things are going to get fine. And that's exactly what Mauricio Pochettino did yesterday and 2 days ago for Chelsea in the lead up to this game. So it makes this game a very, very big one. Again, the reason why this FA Cup is a big game for Chelsea is that it's an opportunity for Chelsea to have a chance to go at a cup final again and then try to see if they can win. Now, I think that's good for a team that is very, very young as Chelsea. If you look at everything that has come to Chelsea's way in terms of sanctions and whatnot, having a chance to play in a Carabao Cup final and an FA Cup final the same season will be exciting. Now, this did happen under Thomas Tuchel, where Chelsea played 2 cup finals, all against Liverpool, and then lost all of them. So we'll wait to see how this goes. If Chelsea can still make it in there, but we'll have to preview the game. Robert Sanchez has been playing in almost all the games for the FA Cup since he returned from injury. We're expecting that Robert Sanchez will be imposed. We're expecting the same back four against Newcastle United. Malo Gusto at right back, Exodus Sassi, Nathaniel Chalobah, and then of course Mark Correa. Then the 2 midfielders, of course, we're expecting to have Moises Caicedo. Enzo Fernandez is out. Cesar Casade is cap-tied, so I'm expecting Conor Gallagher to come and play in there as the number 6 next to Enzo Fernandez. Then have Kani Chukwuemeka up top as a 10. Then Cole Palmer, Mihailo Modric, Raheem Sterling, and then Nicolas Jackson up top for Chelsea Football Club. For Leicester City, they've had some injuries as well. Prayer has gotten injured, is not going to play. James Vardy also is not a possibility of playing, but they have been playing very, very well in the championship. Enzo Maresca's team have been very good across every phase of the game in terms of build-up, being aggressive with their press, winning the ball back, playing forward, creating quality chances all around. They have been very, very good. And that's what's going to make the game a very difficult one. I bet Chelsea has a very, very good home record playing against Leicester City. Now, Chelsea have another unfinished business where Leicester beats them in the FA Cup final the last time that they were there. So it's tough. It's a difficult game, and there is history for Chelsea in the FA Cup competition, and that's the reason why they really want to go final, especially at the Stamford Bridge. They know that they have to do a lot more to be able to go into this competition. So we're expecting the slot check. Justin will be at left back, Vestergaard, Faiz, Nasser Chowdhury, Wilfred Ndidi, Harry Winks in there as a back four, Mavididi, Jules Bihol, Fatawu Shako up top in there. And if Jeremy Vardy is able to return, then this is going to be a very good one. So 4-3-3, Fatawu Shako, excellent player, cutting in on the right hand side, getting inside and creating some very good chances in there for himself. But we'll wait to see how this game goes. It's a big game for Chelsea. There's another one against Manchester United versus Liverpool. I think that Liverpool will go away to Manchester United and get a job done. Now, beat Manchester United are difficult to play against at the Old Trafford, but it's a tough game, guys. This is where Jordan Ketson will bring you alive, and then a post-match analysis after the Chelsea game and all the games today. Thank you very much for choosing me here, Fiifi-Manfred.